Hey Aquarius, welcome to your March monthly reading. This is Owlchemist Tarot, serving tarot straight up. So yes, my fellow Aquas, I'm so excited to do this because I can't wait to see what's in it, what's going on for March. First and foremost, I will pull energy for the overall month and then focus on your main main areas, including career, money, and love. And then also what we need to focus on in your communication zone, and then a card for each week of this month. Now, one thing about my readings is that this really will resonate with your sun, moon, and rising, right? So the big three. If you have an aqua in a big three area, then this could resonate. I do recommend watching all of your videos for sun, moon, and rising so you have a better idea of what's going to be going on for this month, okay? So I've already cleansed my cards offline and shuffled quite a bit, but I'll shuffle just a few more times, and then we'll go ahead and pull some cards. I'll do one more. Yes, Aquas, I am so excited because okay. All right. Okay. So overall, very nice energy. We got King of Pentacles for March. This is very much being an authority figure. This is, really having a lot of expertise and knowledge that you can provide to a situation or people. So Aquarius, you can be sitting, obviously money looks good. You can be sitting really nicely, where you feel like most things in your life are very stable and there's not a lot of abrupt change. But one thing I will tell you is that the King of Pentacles has very strong business acumen. So you could be looking this month to, the best way to move a business forward, or maybe you're looking at market trends, or you're doing a lot of industry research because you have this kind of like thumb on the pulse, you know what I mean, Aquarius? And plus you're so intuitive that this is kind of looking at how do you bring that intuitive future thinking foresight into practical business matters, okay? So, money, you have Four of Pentacles. So I would say, this month for sure, Aquarius, you're kind of keeping hold onto your finances. You're being a little bit more restrictive with yourself, possibly even overspending, but just in general, not spending on BS, which is great. Because sometimes I tell myself, like, do this mental exercise. Is it a want or is it a need? Kind of like put myself in that habit. But one thing I will tell you is that money is energy, Aquarius. So if you hang on too tight, that money can't flow in and out of your life. So it's not a problem to make sure that you're not being too extravagant, but you also have to realize that you have to live life too. And you shouldn't have to hold yourself back or kind of, slap your hand on the wrist if you want to go and get a coffee, or you want to go, go to lunch, or, maybe buy a new shirt, whatever the case is. Don't put so much pressure on yourself that you can't enjoy life too. One thing I do see is that this can mean that because you're holding on to money too tightly, you could be actually creating blocks and restrictions, which is something you don't want to do. So that's what I mean. You have to be a little careful and not being too extreme on how you hold on to money. I will tell you that this is, Aquarius, I feel like you take a lot of pride in what you have, which, Aquarians are known as the humanitarians in the zodiac. So it's not so much that you are materialistic. It's not so much that. It's just that the things that you have taken you a while to maybe to purchase, or the things that you have really mean something to you. So you hold material things of great value because there's a meaning behind it. What I'll also say is that you're probably, if you're looking to invest this month, I would say just be prudent and do your research, and whatever you put your money in, with the Four of Pentacles, it can certainly grow, okay? In love, well, we got Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is not always the most easiest energy to get in your love zone. Queen of Swords certainly can represent you, Aquarius. Very, very detached, very independent energy. So for many of you, you've really been going back and forth, and this is a kind of a scenario that Aquarius deals with in love quite often, is that number one, Do I want to be in a relationship or do I want to be single and independent? Because taking independence away from an Aquarius is like a death sentence. And a lot of times, like Aquarius, you'll be with somebody or in a relationship and they're not taking anything from you, but you mentally almost like prepare yourself that if they do, I'm out the door. So for those of you who are, you know, single, I think for many of you, you're really contemplating, should I just focus on my career, continue to build? For a lot of you, you could be trying to grow a company, and I can say that for myself, certainly, that you just want to focus on that. And not that if someone comes in and they're the right person, great, but you're not actively looking this month. If you're in a partnership, I will tell you that, number one, be very careful, Aquarius, on how you are delivering messages. I'm saying that because the Queen of Swords can be very cutting and very direct with their words. And sometimes it's just hurtful, okay? And we don't know that because we can kind of push our emotions to the side. A lot of people think Aquarius doesn't feel. We do. However, we know how to remove emotion from a situation. And that can be misconstrued for being very detached. But if you're in a relationship, Aquarius, just watch tone. And for some of you in a relationship, you really are contemplating if you just want to be single because you're not mentally, emotionally 100% available. Okay? And that's not fair to do to another person if that's the case. So just think about that. Okay. In your career zone, we got the moon card. So we just had a full moon last night, by the way. Full moon in Virgo. So one thing that the moon card tells me in your career zone, things in the background could be hidden, Aquarius, meaning that you don't really know what's happening underneath the surface. So there could be conversations that are going on at a higher level above yours. Decisions are being made. And by the way, this doesn't feel like anything negative. It just feels like you're out of the loop, but you can kind of tell that there's something going on underneath the surface. Aquarians are very intuitive, so you really can't push much past an Aquarius. The moon card tells me that you need to kind of work through your work environment. Just you might have to make some decisions intuitively or based on your gut. Because like I said, there's things that are being hidden from you for a reason. And it's not that people are deliberately doing it. It's just that you don't need to know right now. Okay. And it's not your time to know. There could be larger decisions being made at a company level where, you know, not necessarily it's a bad thing, but there could be a shift in focus. The strategy might be taking a different turn. You might be asked to work on a different project that you weren't really prepared for, or you didn't realize that you were being considered. So it could be something like that, okay? In your communication zone, Page of Pentacles. So this is very much, gosh, Aquarius, I feel like this month in your communication zone, you might want to really offer help to people. Like you might make yourself a little bit more available this month. Part of it is that you might try to figure out what's going on at work. So you might be trying to dip your toe into other pools of networks to try to figure out what the hell's going on. So that could be certainly what you're doing, Aquarius. But I do feel for a lot of you're trying to help as many people as possible. Like you're opening yourself up to, you know, be of service to someone or even just give guidance or just to be there. You know, with the pandemic, I know a lot of people are completely just mentally over it and need kind of an outlet. And sometimes it's hard because we're so sick of Zoom calls. We're so sick of all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I think Aquarius, you're really kind of the life of the party. You really know how to like put a smile on people's faces or just bring a sense of, you know, just your logical sense and understanding. You really can put things in perspective for people. So I do feel like you're opening up and just bringing that kind of like practical sense and understanding to a conversation or to a group of folks. And it kind of helps people understand that this too shall pass, okay? So first week out of the month, oh wow, we got the Tower card. So interesting, it's right underneath the Four of Pentacles. So what I'm gonna tell you is that Aquarius, I don't feel like this is something that is directly, I don't get the sense that it's directly impacting you as a person. It does impact you as on a personal level, but it doesn't it feels like it's happening on a wider level. The Tower card, I feel like the economy or the stock market could be taking a major shift that could impact your finances, certainly, because it does, directly and indirectly. But I feel like the Tower card, there is going to be an abrupt, unexpected shift. There could be changes in leadership. There could be, I hate saying this because I don't like necessarily putting this out there, but almost like a natural disaster type of thing. Not that we need more of those. Earthquake keeps coming out, and again, I don't hope that on anyone wherever you live and wherever you're watching this, but it could impact the economy in some way that either directly or indirectly impacts your maybe financial zone. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Second week, you got Four of Wands, really beautiful energy. Okay, so it's right under the Queen of Swords. Okay, so I gotta tell you, Aquarius, you gotta figure out, so the Four of Wands is known as the commitment card. Very happy, very wonderful card to get. Sometimes it is known as the marriage card, which what I'm going to tell you, Aquarius, and what I'm getting strongly is that this second week, I really feel like you need to take some time and understand and figure out and identify what is a happy life to you. And it's different for everybody. So some people, it is about getting married and having kids and having a family and the white picket fence and, 2.5 kids, whatever the case is. For some of you, it's living on a piece of land where no one can find you and you're just like living life. For some of you, it's in the city in a small studio apartment, but you're living your dream and you're in New York City. For some of you, it's on some property where you have, your friends and family close by and you get to raise, rescue animals. I don't know. Everyone is different, but all I'm going to tell you is that I think you need to identify what is your happy place. Like what would you consider a happy life? And I do think too is that you also can consider that you can make room for a relationship, Aquarius. I just feel like you have to find the right person who understands your need for independence and space. And not that is that you want to walk out of the relationship, is that you need the independence and space to recharge your batteries, okay? So it's all about just the right person that you align to and the fact that you're on the same wavelength and that there's open communication. I do think that you're going to have, I truly think that this is not something that you've just been thinking about like in the second week of March. I feel like this is something you've been thinking about quite a bit lately. What does happy mean to you? What does committed mean to you? And for some of you, it's, committing to yourself to be a better person, to be, to really grow your professional sphere. And that's fine too. I would just say, take the time and really look at that. Third week, Three of Wands, which is right under the Moon card. So here's what I'm going to tell you. There might be some ambiguity that's going on in the workplace. You may not know what's going on, but that doesn't mean that you should stop what you're doing. The Three of Wands is all about progression and movement and actually putting a lot of action behind an idea. So keep moving forward with whatever you're doing. Don't worry about anyone else. You know what? In this case, Spirit keeps saying it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission in this situation. So stay true to yourself and do the things that you have control over, Aquarius, and then everything else, let the chips fall where they may that third week, okay? Fourth week, you got King of Cups right under the Page of Pentacles. So, Aquarius, okay, so this is going to be, people have the misunderstanding, I've said this before, that Aquarius doesn't feel. Aquarians do feel very deeply, actually. As the water bearers, we carry the weight of the weight of the world on our shoulders, including other people's emotions. We just know how to separate that so we can make decisions and, persevere through life. What I'm going to say, Aquarius, this fourth week, when you are kind of being this, like, the person who's opening up and wanting to be of service to other people, I think you need to show that vulnerable side of you. The King of Cups feels deeply but doesn't always show it or may not admit that his feelings get hurt easily. And Aquarians, your feelings sometimes get hurt too. So I think this is asking you to just humanize yourself a little bit. Make yourself a little bit more approachable and that people can walk away and be like, holy crap, I had no flippin' idea that that's who they were, that's what they've experienced, or that's what they've gone through. Aquarius, this is the time to show that warm part of yourself. Show some emotion. And this is not about you. It's not the tear gates. It's not like the floodgates opening and you're crying and making a mess of yourself. But sharing bits and pieces and helping people understand why you are an expert and you have so much experience because of A, B, and C of all the things that you've gone through in life, I think will really humanize you, and people will become more responsive to you and your message, Aquarius. And I think that's really important. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. It means the world to me. It really does. Also follow me on TikTok and Instagram because I post there quite a bit. You get free insights, so you know what's coming up. If you're interested in a reading for me or the Owlchemist membership, all that's in the description box. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next month. Bye.